Thank you, Carrie. That was a knockout musical performance. Unbelievable. What's also unbelievable is this crowd out here. I want to ask a question. And if you can answer this question, could you please raise your hand? How many folks in here like art class? I knew it. There's a lot of you out there that like art. Now, this is a question that I've been asking myself for many years. You know, why do kids like art so much? And I remember when I was an elementary art teacher. I used to teach at New Palestine Elementary for 28 years, and before that I taught art at Indianapolis Public Schools. Now I teach at New Palestine High School, so I get to work with the big kids. But the question I've asked myself is, why do kids like art so much? I remember when I was teaching at New Palestine Elementary, it would be the end of the class, and I would tell the children, boys and girls, it's time for cleanup. No, it's not. We don't want to leave the art room. So that's a problem. You know, the kids, they really like art, and I think they deserve lots of art. The Youth Art Month exhibit is a fabulous showcase, and when we leave this room, we're going to go into the other room, the South Atrium, and there's going to be some fabulous two-dimensional art for you to see, showcasing some of the best works of art in all of the state of Indiana, produced by children in K-12 art rooms across the state. What I'd like to talk to you about now is something called sculpture. Sculpture is three-dimensional art. And First Lady Hogsett was alluding to the architecture here in this building, designed and created by artists and artisans. What a tremendous state treasure this building is. I have this friend. His name is Clark Fralick. Clark is the 2003 Indiana State Art Education Association Art Teacher of the Year. And Clark is here in the audience with us today. Clark, could you stand up and wave to everybody so that we can see? Thank you, Clark. Clark and I have this other friend. Her name is Bethany Noel Thomas. And she is the Director of Education at the Indiana State Museum. It's another Indiana State treasure. That museum is fabulous. If you've been to the old one was cool. But the new one, built about 10 years ago, it's fabulous. You've got to go visit there. It's filled with treasure and lots of art. Well, Bethany, she asked Clark and I, she said, hey, we're doing an exhibit on the third floor with cardboard sculpture. Why don't you guys come, you and Clark, come to the museum and build sculptures in there with, everybody else who's going to be in there, because the exhibit is called Cardboard Engineering. And it's all about, what you can do with cardboard. So Clark and I have been in there over the past 4 months. And so we're in there building away. We've got some pretty interesting things in there. But what is most interesting is not our sculptures, but the creative activity that goes on inside that space on the third floor. What Clark and I observed over the past 4 months that we've been in there are children with their families exercising their natural creative pathways. And you really get a sense of the forces of nature that children are when they're young and when they are brimming with their newly discovered mental faculties. They have energy that is released when they are in creative states of flow. It's unbelievable. Clark and I are watching them build miniature houses, boats, trucks, submarines, supersonic spaceships out of cardboard. The third floor of the Indiana State Museum, it hums with all kinds of activity when those kids are up there. And heaven forbid, if you are an adult and you interrupt a busy child while they are creating in their natural creative states. I observed one adult say to a child, "Okay, Johnny, it's time to see the rest of the museum." No, I don't want to leave here. And Clark and I will hear that similar exchanges of conversation between adults and children in that room. We hear it all the time. But children are naturally endowed with the capacity for creativity. Heaven's sakes, they're born with hands and arms and legs and imaginations. When the imagination, in concert with the mind, body, and spirit, all work together to achieve an idea or a common goal, one remembers such experiences. Perhaps you've remembered such an experience on your own. This is the essence of art education in the schools where art rooms exist. Art rooms are the centers of creativity of the school. Think of it, individuals who can develop ideas and realize them in 2, 3, or 4 dimensions. They've got mental superpowers. They're like Leonardo da Vinci. You would think that elected officials who control education laws would understand this. They would make art education with expert art teachers more available to children in schools. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Instead, there have been laws written that cause schools to lose art teachers and children to lose time for art. Authentic fine arts learning experiences are powerful transdisciplinary events that provide important developmental pathways for the unique inborn endowments, creative endowments of the child. Fine arts experiences have the potential to ameliorate violent tendencies and unleash the emotional drive of children. Increasing fine arts educational experiences is in the best interest of the nation, and it's the real foundation of education reform. As a parent or a citizen advocate, you all have powerful voices. I urge you to advocate for children's K-12 fine arts programs whenever and wherever you are called upon. Please, no more failures of imagination. I thank you, and the Art Education Association of Indiana thanks you for your support today.